Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons Insurance, where you can sign up for the Shannons Club, and Penrite Oil, offering technical assistance 7 days a week.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Classic Restos. Of course not possible without the continued support from Shannons Insurance and Penrite Oil. How good is Shannons Insurance? Where would we be without them? Pick up the phone and give Shannons a call on 134646 for a quote. You can also sign up and become a member of the Shannons Club. How cool is that? While you're there, you can search for a car club or you can list your own. Shannons Insurance. See them online at shannons.com.au. And how good is Penrite Oil? Australian made, Australian owned. Penrite is also available here in the United States of America through their distributors. Penrite Oil has been around since 1926. It doesn't matter what machine you have, Penrite has a grade of oil to suit that application. If you want to find out more information, why not utilise the Penrite Technical Assistance Line 7 days a week. For more information, contact Penrite at penrite.com.au. And on today's show, it's a continuation of the 2014 Carlisle Ford Nationals put on by Carlisle Events here in Pennsylvania, United States of America. Last week's episode, we saw a 500-foot-long tent showcasing one Mustang for every year of production. The outside area of Building G was amazing, with a variety of Ford vehicles representing the Ford manufacturing timeline. Building T hosts a special Mustang Edition display, a part of the 50th anniversary of the world's most famous pony car. While Building Y was especially for the ladies, who maintain and drive their Ford classics, and all new this year at Carlisle Events. And speaking of Carlisle Events, it's also a big year for them, celebrating their 40th anniversary. The 2014 Ford Carlisle Nationals is so awesome, it gives you the opportunity to ride along on the autocross track and experience old school muscle, all 550 horsepower of it. Moving through the Skyliner aisle now here at Carlisle. How are you, Dave?
Very good. How are you doing, Fletch?
I'm wonderfully well. I'm even better when I come down an aisle like this and see cars like yours. I mean, what were the Americans thinking when they designed this back in 1958?
Well, I don't know. I'm not too sure. They wanted a car, I guess, that did something a little different. And they did it, but it cost them a lot of money.
These Fairlane Skyliners would have to go down as one of the most sophisticated cars, I think, that the Ford Motor Company built. I mean, totally unique, inspired by rocket ships, and when you think about it, in the trunk compartment, totally impractical, weren't they?
That's right, that's right. Well, when we came down here, all our luggage was in the back seat, and you know, you've got all the car stuff in the trunk. Yeah. And if you want to use the roof, yep, then yeah, you've got to keep that empty. So
I just think the technology back in that time of being able to, I mean, we're talking of an era here with no computers, to design that for the roof turret to go down underneath and then the trunk lid come and cover that up. It's just incredible. Now, what's going on there with the Interceptor V8? What's the story there, Dave?
That was a new V8. They put a little badge on the glove box so that people, the window shoppers on the weekends, could look in and see that it had the new Interceptor V8. This one's 300 horse, 352. Yep. That was the first year for the Interceptor engine.
Yep. Beautiful car, Dave. The interior is just amazing.
Yeah, that's all as original. Wow. It's a reproduction kit.
What is it with you guys in these original cars here in the United States? I mean, I know it was the country where they were built. I know that's where you're going to find them, but there's got to be a bit of luck, I think, too, stumbling upon them.
Well, yeah, I guess, there's quite a following. We were just talking about that a little earlier, actually, about whether the next generation and the one after are going to be able to keep these cars going. Yeah. The parts are getting harder to find, and it's hard to say what's going to happen.
They're all going to end up in museums one day. I think all of us, we're just temporary custodians.
Yeah, you're right. I guess there probably will be. There's a lot of museums now, so but it's getting to be a I hate to say a dying hobby, but it's just the technology is just not, it's getting too complicated now to restore the new ones. And,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we'll just keep restoring these old ones. Dave, thanks for your time, buddy.
Okay. Thanks, Fletch. Nice talking to you.
Thank you. All right, moving on now with Tom. How you doing, Tom?
Good, Fletch. Real good.
You've got to be good, haven't you?
Sure, absolutely. Beautiful day here.
We've got the weather on our side and these beautiful cars, these beautiful, opulent cars. They're beyond words. Tom, 1955 Fairlane, Crown Victoria, correct?
Correct. Yep, that's what it is, Fletch.
Okay. Now, why pink? Tell us the story there. I do love it, though.
That's the way it came from the factory. That's the color that was on it. Wow. So I repainted it the same color it was.
So you've done the restoration yourself?
Basically most of it, yes.
Wow, when we talk of classic restos, is this a classic resto or what? And Tom, you've done it yourself. What condition was the car when you found it?
Like a bushel basket case. It was on a trailer. The frame was sitting there. The body was just dumped onto the frame. The engine and transmission were just hanging in the frame, and the fenders were inside the car.
Oh, Tom, you've saved its life.
Yep, I guess you could call that. Yep.
You have. And to do it all yourself, I mean, what an incredible challenge. How does the car drive?
Good. Very good, yep. Yeah, I put radial tires on it, so it goes down the road just like a new car.
I mean, you can tell by the outside. I mean, this would be better than brand new car. I mentioned opulence. I mean, the words escape me with these cars. The amount of shiny work, the stainless steel, the embellishments, hood ornament, inside the car. We look at the interior. Have a look at that. If that doesn't take you back to happy days, the happy days era, Tom, and you would have experienced that years ago as well.
Pretty close, yeah. I was a young guy then. Now I'm just an old antique too.
As I always say, Tom, we're all young guys stuck in an older guy's body, huh?
There you go. That's a good one.
Tom, thank you for being on today's show. We could keep on talking here. Just to give you an example, Crown Victoria, 1955, beautiful car. Before I do go, I've got to make comment about that band that goes across the roof turret. I just think that's a move that Ford made. I don't believe any other car, well, they may have had similar, but really makes the Crown Vic stand out, doesn't it?
Right, yep, that's the whole thing right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, good on you, Tom. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Thank you, Fletch. Have a good one.
Thank you. When it comes time for the best in insurance for your classic vehicle, home and contents, along with an opportunity to sign up to become a member of the Shannons Club and the finest in oils and coolants, where the Penrite Technical Assistance line is there to help you 7 days a week, go to classicrestos.com.au for more contact information. I hope you're really enjoying the 2014 Carlisle Ford Nationals. Back with more after this. Welcome back. If you're after parts, every Carlisle event is a parts mecca. If you're into parts, or if you're not, the sights from Privateers is endless entertainment. There are miles of side roads here in the fairgrounds, packed with many hundreds of vendors. Have a look at the flowing run of bits and pieces to either help you with your restoration or repair. You could virtually build a car from scratch if you are patient enough to find the parts you need. Just sit back now and see some of the parts and accessories that will keep you walking around here for hours. How cool was that? And it's always nice to know that someone's junk will be always someone else's treasure. Car clubs are important to Carlisle Events, as they are to all major shows. We have Lynn here now. Now, Lynn is from the International Thunderbird Club, right?
Correct.
Lynn, thanks for turning up.
No problem. It's been fun.
Tell us the story about where the Thunderbird starts. Apparently this little baby bird here, this was the original shape apparently that boosted all the other models, but the most famous in the marque.
Right. When I was a younger girl, that's the one thing that I talked about, because the 55s came with the Thunderbirds were 1955. That was the first one. And it was as you call it, the baby birds. And they only made them for 3 years, 55, 56, and 57. So in 1957, I was 10 years old, and this is my dream car, my absolute dream car. And so everybody said, what are you going to do when you win the lottery? Well, I'm going to buy this car. Well, obviously I've never won the lottery, but for me, my 57 dream car came because I guess I sort of did win the lottery, because I married my husband, and for my 57th birthday, he bought me my 57th car. Wow. So,
how sweet's that?
Yeah, it was great. It really was.
It always confused me as to what the pinnacle year was for the Thunderbird, because there were so many shapes in the Thunderbird,
yes.
And to know what year was, I guess, the pinnacle year, I never quite knew. But it was safe to say that, well, was the shape behind me?
I guess it depends on your interest. Some people like the square ones, some people like the longer tube ones.
But this is where it began.
Yeah. And when I was a kid, you could watch TV and you could see the commercials for the 3 Thunderbirds on the airstrip with the Thunderbirds flying over above. I mean, it was amazing.
Awesome days in every way. I mean, not only the cars, the diners, the TV commercials, everything was classic when we look back.
Right.
Up and down this row here for the International Thunderbird Club, there are some beautiful cars here.
Gorgeous.
They're all gorgeous.
Gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous. Every year, up until the retros that are here for the 2000 to the 2005s, the retros, they're so classic. Everybody knows a Thunderbird when you see one.
Absolutely.
There's no question.
I mean, rocket styling. I mean, even their dashboards, the way they're styling. I mean, it was before we put man on the moon, right?
Right. That's true. Yeah. It's true. But it was, an age where people were looking towards the future. Absolutely. And so they designed them to look that way,
They certainly were a futuristic car, there's no doubt about it. Lynn, absolutely marvellous catching up with you here today. You're serving the International Thunderbird Club proud, and it's been terrific to catch up with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Fletcher. Appreciate it. I enjoyed meeting you.
Thank you very much. Well, Saturday afternoon, kicking back in the golf cart. Got the events manager, Ken. Ken, you've created a monster. You have gone above and beyond. Speaking on behalf of all the entrants, the management of Carlisle Events, it's absolute credit to you to pull this one together.
Well, thank you, Fletch. And we're pretty much a packed house here. We have about 3,000 show cars that are out there on the field. We've actually surpassed Corvette, which has been our largest show, typically on record. So now we are the bigger boy, I guess you could say. So we're the bigger brother to our Corvette show. So, which is good because, as you know, Lance, he runs our Corvette show, I run our Ford show. Now we can say Ford is bigger than Corvette. So it's a nice thing to actually be able to say that now.
Yeah, we'll let you two guys sort that one out.
Yeah. It'll be probably next week in the office to shoot emails. My phone is blowing up right now in my pocket, actually, because I texted him that we actually are bigger. It's funny, but it's actually credit to the whole team, the entire team here at Carlisle Events. Ed, Tyler, Aubrey, other Ed, Jim, Diane, Betsy, all those guys. They absolutely do a phenomenal job in the off season, and we really, as event managers, have to give credit to the entire team. It's a team effort here at Carlisle Events.
It has to be. It's also good to know that credit where credit's due. The Ford Motor Company has really stepped up this year. They do every other year, but they're incredible to work with for you guys as well.
Absolutely. They bring in their brand managers. They bring in a display that they do at no other show. They also do a mini auto show over at our expo center, do some incredible ride and drives, some incredible walkthroughs. They did the brand new 2015 Mustang here. Had walkthroughs on that. They even have some more coming up later this afternoon. They've had the F-150, the brand new all aluminum F-150. They've done some great walkarounds with that too, really talked to their enthusiasts, the people that are buying their cars, and made sure that, I mean, they are taking care of their buyers. So they're a really, really good partner for us to work with. We meet with them in the off season and it all comes together for a couple days here, and I mean, they really communicate well with their enthusiasts. Ford uses this event as a conduit to speak to their enthusiasts.
The Ford Motor Company here in the United States of America, need we say more? I mean, this is the heartthrob, the country where it happens. You guys have the resources, you take advantage of that, and in turn give the people off the street an incredible event. And again, my hat comes off to you, Ken. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Fletch, and thanks for coming out, and hopefully we get to see you again next year.
What do you mean, hopefully? I'm back.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that then. So we'll see you next year then. Thanks again.
Thanks, Ken. Bookings are now being taken for 2015 Fletch tours to the sensational Carlisle region of Pennsylvania and taking in a Carlisle event, along with the Motown city of Detroit. Just go to classicrestos.com.au and click on the Fletch Tours icon for more contact information. Back with more in just a moment. Welcome back. Inside Building T here at Carlisle Events, there is always something special, particularly this year. With the 50th anniversary of the Mustang and the 110th year of Ford, Building T in 2014 has been dedicated solely to the Mustang. Talk about something different. I've never seen anything like this before. A 1967 branded edition Mustang. How are you, Fran?
Great, Fletch. How are you?
Good, thank you. You've really got one of a kind here. Tell us what's going on.
Well, in 1967, late 1967, Ford wanted to have something to spiff up their lower-end models, the coupes, and they came up with this branded special edition kit, and it consisted of a top, an emblem, a branded emblem for each side on the C-pillar, C-pillar molding, and stripes. The tops came in 15 different colors, and the stripes came in 5 different colors. And the emblems came in a gold tone and silver.
How many were made? How many cars would be left in the country like this, Fran?
Well, as far as made, no idea, because it was a dealer installed package. But as far as how many are left, this is the only one I know of.
It's amazing the things they tried to sell cars back in the time.
Well, yeah, and Ford was the king of that. That's, as you can see in this building today, there's 46 different special editions, and there are many, many more out there. And that was just the way that they tried to market their vehicles back in the day.
Fran, personally, I think it's either love it or hate it, but it really suits the car. I mean, the colour of the car, the pattern top. When you look under the hood and you look at the way the engine's been restored, the sensational interior, this is a beautiful car.
Well, the tops were different, but you got to remember it was the 60s, the psychedelic 60s. So in the meantime, I've accumulated some more kits, and some of them go from butt ugly, as we say here in the States, to really cool.
Well, Fran, it's good to see you've got it bad.
Well, this isn't the only special edition I have. I just love the special editions, and I like odd and rare.
Look, there's lots of Mustangs. A lot were built, but look, they help to save Ford too. I mean, they're such a synonymous part of the Ford Motor Company, aren't they?
They are, and you know, it's the Mustangs have been woven into the fabric of American life. They've been here for a long time, and I got into them because my older brother had one when I was a kid. And I'm sure there are many stories like that here at Carlisle.
Yep. Good on you, Fran. Lovely talking to you, mate. Well done.
Thanks, Fletch.
Moving through Building T here, 2014 Carlisle Ford Nationals. Got a bit of a legend here. We have Hubert Platt, drag racer, back in the 60s. How are you, Hubert?
I'm just fine, thank you.
That's good. You having fun?
Yes, sir. Anytime you're around this many pretty Fords, you have fun.
Hubert, tell us, what was it like back in the 60s? I know I ask this question. Every old drag guy that comes along, it's the same question, but I just have to know. What was it like back in the 60s racing?
I tell you, it was really good. See, when Ford come out with the 2 drag teams, the East Coast and the West Coast, Well, I was fortunate to be picked for the East Coast.
Yes.
And Ed Terry got the West Coast. And then later on, Dick Laura was put in for the Midwest. What we did was we went around to the dealership about 2 or 3 times a week and put on seminars. We had boards there with the stuff on them to show the kids what to buy and not to blow their money, you know. A lot of kids go out there and put something on the car, make it run slower than it did. I really enjoyed doing that. And then we raced on Saturday. Well, sometimes we raced Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yep. And as far as sales went at dealerships, it was race on Sunday, sell on Monday, wasn't it?
That's exactly right. Yes,
now,
sir.
Hubert, tell us, back in the 60s, you can tell us now all these years down the track, who was your toughest competition?
I guess Ronnie Sox. Landon and the boys run good, but Ronnie Sox was tough. He was a bad boy.
Those Dodge and Plymouth boys, eh?
Yes, sir. Well, see, Sox runs some Fords. He ran a Comet back in 64, I think, or 65. And then he went back to Chrysler.
That's what I like about all you guys. You drove all the brands. You had a go at everything, didn't you?
Yes, sir. I guess the first Ford I had was a 63 and a half fastback. I only run about 3 months. And then I got a 64 Thunderbolt. When they first started them, they built 11 that was burgundy. That was for the guys that was on the drag program. Then the 12th one was white automatic, and the 13th one was white 4-speed. I got the 13th one. Wow. I went to Detroit to pick it up December the 13th. It snowed. I had to stay there 3 days before I could get back.
What an unbelievable time. Now, behind us here, we've got a classic car here. We have a car that was in tribute to yourself. Now, back in the time in 1969, this was the car that you could buy from the dealership. Tell us about that quickly, Hubert.
Well, in 69, I campaigned 2 cars, a 69 Mustang fastback and a 69 Torino. Both of them was powered by 428s. The Mustang was automatic, and the Torino was 4-speed. Now, the automatic car, I had a 5,000 stall-speed converter in it, and I could beat a 4-speed out of the hole with it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm telling you, that had a B&M 5,000 stall-speed converter. I could set the record several times with that car.
They could have almost called you Mr. 4-speed.
That's right, but that was a car jockey bought the showroom for. Yep. All we did to the engine was blueprint it. Wow. And put a little more compression in it. Yep. And it had tricks like that.
What a glorious car. I mean, still it's polyglass tyres. We've still got an original interior. I mean, it is a step back in time. And when you've got one of the guys that used to drive one of these cars standing here beside me, it's beyond words. Hubert, thank you so much for catching up. It's been a pleasure meeting you.
Fletch, I appreciate you coming by. Thank you.
That's right, you're welcome, thank you. And just over from Building T, you'll find the Women's Oasis. Now, ladies, this is a chance to get rid of the guys. Come on in here and give yourself a little bit of you time here at Carlisle Events. It's a home away from chrome. Whilst walking around this incredible Carlisle event fairground, ladies may stop for a relaxing non-automotive experience. There are vendors that have travelled from all over America to be here, and the merchandise they bring with them is sensational. There's jewellery, handmade crafts, handbags, kitchen stuff, unique clothing and beauty products. You can relax with a therapeutic massage or a beauty makeover. And in my case, I better stay here for a month. And if you don't feel like any of that, you can stop by and at least enjoy a healthy frozen smoothie. Just something else for you to experience at Carlisle Events. Well, what do we say? The 2014 Carlisle Ford Nationals draws to a close. It's late in the day, and all I can say is that the last 3 days has been absolutely incredible. There's no doubt about it. It's the cars, the people, and the excitement here at Carlisle. You can experience a Carlisle event, whether it's the Ford Nationals, GM, or Chrysler Nationals, through a Fletch tour in 2015. But I would like to thank the owners of Carlisle Events, Bill and Lance Miller, along along with the entire event staff, as without their support, these TV episodes would not be happening. Coming soon to Classic Restos as a part of my 6-week stay here in Carlisle, you'll see the GM and Carlisle Nationals, along with some other interesting episodes exclusive to Classic Restos. But in the meantime, classicrestos.com.au is the website that you need for the DVD boxed sets of the show, Classic Restos merchandise, clicking on the Fletch Tours icon for 2015 and contacting my major sponsors as well. As I say at the end of every show, no matter where you're watching Classic Restos from, until next week, please ride and drive safe. I'm Fletch, and I thank you very much for watching.
You can like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Classic Restos TV and watch catch-up episodes at shannons.com.au. Classic Restos is proudly brought to you by Shannons Insurance, where you can sign up for the Shannons Club, and Penrite Oil, offering technical assistance 7 days a week.